You want to raise $200,000 to $225,000.
That'd be pretty much. I think that would get us up to where we want to be, because what we want to do is we want to stop any further deterioration of the exterior. Because right now the exterior envelope or shell of this building has been compromised by the weather because it's stucco. You know, we've repaired it to a certain extent, but over the years, but you really need to go back and do the whole thing in order to get it perfectly sealed. And that's our biggest problem. You can't just go in there and patch here and patch there and expect to get it done. And that's what we've gotten from having talked to several experts in this area for the last 2 or 3 years. And but that would include not only getting that sealed, but it would also include, well, we've already committed the money for, there's a retaining wall back here behind our building. And water comes down that hillside and it comes up against the building. So we've already committed the money to that, and that $220,000 I quoted includes about $12,000 we've already committed to have this done. Which also means we're having a couple of French drains put in on each side, and repouring some concrete on the back side of this building where water has tended to kind of well up next to the building. So that includes that. Oh yes, and that also includes getting rid of the air conditioners and the heating units on each side of this building, and going to a subterranean, what I call it,
geothermal.
Well, it's a geothermal, but it's a heat pump, a subterranean heat pump, which will be enough to heat and cool, which will tremendously lower our heating and cooling costs, because this building is not. Oh, and it also includes going back and redoing all the windows, and there's like 110 windows in this building. Yeah, there's a lot. So that would make those going to double pane, and the big round window in front. That also includes putting another pane with an air filler between them around that and sealing that, because we lose an awful lot of heat and cool through that wonderful window in front.
Now, this drive is purely to fund exterior renovations. It's not for the operation of.
No.
Now, while your operation makes enough to cover its costs and a little bit more, right, you don't have you built up any reserve for this type of work?
Yeah. We've at this point in time we had before I'm committed to $12,000 a year. We had a little better than $30,000 in our building fund.
Okay.
And so it's not a lot of money, but I can't go with that kind of money in finance or borrow money for on a loan, because we don't make that much money to pay to be paying a 15-year mortgage on something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just too much. It'd scare me to death. I wouldn't sleep at night. I don't sleep at night now sometimes, but I don't want to compound it. We're in the process of getting stuff together to put together a little ask package, if you will, that will tell what our vision is. But the vision is to initially come up with the money to seal the exterior, to prevent any further deterioration. We think possibly at some point in time we could actually build another theater building that's actually designed for theater on our property. We have almost an acre of property, and probably the land itself, this prime riverfront property, is worth a couple of million anyway, even right now. And so all we need is about $200,000 really to put this building in tip-top shape. Ideally, as I said, I would like to see us do another building on this property, which actually have some additional sources of income. Maybe have a restaurant on the top. We could do our children's theater. We could do our drunkard. Continue the tradition of 57 years plus for the drunkard, and feature additional training classes for theater, for children, for feature other artistic groups, concerts. And if we could ever get out of this building, then we could go back to a total and faithful restoration of what we had not done by redoing the exterior. Then we could come in and make it like a piano studio as it was in 1928. Then it would be suitable for entertaining groups up on the level, one of the 3 decks that we have above here, where Bruce Goff built the outdoor fireplace, where you can sit up there and you can sit and enjoy traffic on the river, the boats, and the people on the riverside, and watch the fireworks on the 4th of July and all those kind of things. And we think that it would be perfect then for this building as a dedicated as a recital hall. It would be perfect for concerts, smaller concerts, weddings, business venues, architectural meetings, that type of thing. We've had to turn down people that wanted to come in here in the past because we weren't equipped electrically to handle today's types of equipment. If that makes sense. And the lighting and whatever would be required. Right now, I realize it's a bad time to be launching a capital campaign, but we can't wait, and we are moving forward. Like I said, this retaining wall, I think, is the most critical thing we're going to do first. The next thing is we will do this exterior. We need to seal that stucco, get that replaced, and if we do that, this will be so beautiful. This building will be.
What sort of timetable are you hoping to achieve?
Well, this retaining wall will start probably within the next 3 or 4 weeks. We're in the process of scheduling that, the work to begin there. Mm-hmm. And I hope within the next 2 to 3 months we'll seriously have our stuff together for the ask package, as I said before, to begin that in earnest. I mean, I've already approached several organizations, individuals I know that love this place, that want to see it. I mean, it's an icon, for Tulsa, and not only for Tulsa, but for Oklahoma and the nation. We have people that come here from all over the world that want to see this place. I think that if you got right down to it, that the Spotlight Theater is probably the hardest working of any of Bruce Goff's surviving structures. I mean, we've got about 4,000 square feet, and this auditorium is about 350 square feet, 400 square feet. We do 100 shows a year. We have rehearsals Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, shows on Saturday, and sometimes and matinees on Saturdays, 2 shows on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. I don't think there's any of Bruce Goff structures that work as hard as this little theater right here. So it takes a lot of abuse, but there's a lot of love here too. And we think that this place is worth saving, and there's just more history. I mean, we've got 2 iconic institutions that are linked to this one building. And one of them is the history of the Drunkard, and the other is the history of this theater. And both of them are worthwhile and ought to be saved. But, if I had my druthers, I wish we had a bigger theater that was actually designed for theater and not where we have so much wasted space with rooms upstairs that can't be used for anything but storage. They could be used for rehearsal space and for training and for other aspects that are critical to theater and the arts.